My name is Josh Lowen. I'm a guitar player. I'm a dad. I started playing guitar in the summer of 2005. I was always drawn, especially to guitar solos that told a story. Just hearing music, how it expresses through the guitar, through the strings, taking you on a journey through that solo, and it just spoke to me. So Russell Jackson, super great guy. He was B.B. King's bass player. I had just started playing guitar that summer prior, and when I saw that he was offering jam night, I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I'd bought my first guitar about 6 months before that. I packed my guitar, drove up to the mountain, got on stage, and got chewed out right in the middle of a song for soloing over his lyrics. Got schooled by a blues legend himself, and and then the drive home. So I packed up and left Raquel's, for those of you who know what that place was back in the day, and I headed home, being late at night, and it was foggy and snowing, almost takes your equilibrium away. And essentially, I went straight off the road, off the top switchback, and my truck launched right off the embankment. I can remember the headlights going down and not seeing a bottom. When they say, your life flashes before your eyes, it does. It was like a reel of my whole life going hyper fast forward. And then boom, I hit the ground and I woke up. My truck is kind of propped up with its headlights shining up in the air. The whole thing's crushed, the roof's lower than the steering wheel, and the radio is still going, the stereo, and it's playing Castles Made of Sand by Jimi Hendrix. I was going through a heavy Jimi phase then, and at that point I noticed my guitar in its case leaning up against a tree. And I'm thinking, man, there's no way this is real. I didn't know it at the time, but when I got ejected out of the truck, I landed on a tree, which had impaled my lung and spleen. I couldn't find my phone at the time. I couldn't get into the truck. I decided that I was doomed. So I got into the back of the box, the truck box, and pulled a blanket from inside the truck that I could reach, and I bundled up to die, basically. At that point, I can remember hearing that white noise of tires coming up the road, and I looked up and I could see the lights coming through the trees. I knew that was my moment. So I don't know how I got the energy to, but I got out of the truck and I climbed up the embankment of snow, got up onto the road literally just as the car was coming around that switchback. And I flagged him down, and at this point, I couldn't even talk because my lung was impaled and filling with blood. They got me to the Joe Rich Fire Hall, and I was rushed to the hospital from there, at which point I had emergency surgery, and I spent a couple weeks in the hospital and about 9 months to fully recover from that. What happened that day, that might be one of the most life-changing, pivotal moments I've ever had, aside from, fatherhood. Some people, they go through a traumatic experience and it pushes them away from something. I looked at that as a miracle. Obviously, there was a divine intervention of some sort, and I chose to, as cheesy as it may sound for some, I chose to believe that was an intervention to keep me here on this planet to play my guitar. I still play it, yeah. Not as often as my main choice, which is a PRS, custom 22 fret. I'm pretty sure that the headstock took the impact first because the neck was busted right off the body. Luckily, there was only, a few dings and scratches. Because it survived the accident with me, I decided to not only get it fixed up, but I put real Gibson P90s in there. I got a new saddle, a new nut, and I got some Grover tuning pegs. So this thing does play like a real proper guitar. Yeah, if there's anything I could say to kids especially, the most important thing, your parents are gonna be mad at me for saying this, but the most important thing you can do is not listen to anyone, including your parents, if they're telling you no. If you feel a calling to something creative, do it. You never know what's gonna come, what's gonna happen, how far it can take you unless you go down that path.
Thank you so much, everybody. We are Goldsauce. Find us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Thank you, Revelry. Thank you, Boom Booms.